Welcome to Off the Page Sacred Jazz. I'm Deanna Witkowski. Last week, I shared with you the exciting news that my brand new biography of the pioneering jazz pianist and composer and sacred jazz music composer, Mary Lou Williams, is now available from Liturgical Press. You can purchase this also directly from me and get a signed copy at rebrand.ly/Deanna book. And I've been sent out about 130 pre-orders last week. It officially comes out on September 15th, but I just got the books about 2 weeks ago now, so I'm happy to send out orders. And you can also get the ebook from litpress.org. Now, last week I read a portion of the book that explained my connection with Mary Lou Williams, and specifically around her sacred music, and said that this week I would share one of her liturgical jazz pieces, her setting of the Lord's Prayer. This is a setting that she originally wrote for a concert that happened in 1967 at Carnegie Hall called Praise the Lord in Many Voices. And she was commissioned by a group of New York-based Jesuit priests to be one of 6 composers that had liturgical music premiered on the program. Mary Lou wrote a setting of the Our Father for that program, and then she altered the piece somewhat in 2 of her later 3 jazz masses. So what I'm going to play for you is what the version is from her 3rd Jazz Mass, Music for Peace, or commonly known as Mary Lou's Mass. Now, one thing that I think is really cool about Mary Lou, and that is something that I try to do too, is I have this score out. This is something she created around 1973. She made a simplified score for a bunch of the movements from Mary Lou's Mass. So it's a piano vocal score. And this is something that I do with all my sacred music as well. So besides just having lead sheets for jazz players, she wanted to have a version of her music that other church musicians could use in their particular communities. And I'm really excited to share that I've been working on a new edition of Mary Lou's Mass, or Music for Peace, for the Mary Lou Williams Foundation, and you can see their link here. When you go to their site, you can purchase a license to perform a bunch of Mary Lou's work, including all of the movements from Mary Lou's Mass, and including the Lord's Prayer, which I'm going to share with you now. So I wanted to make sure that you know about this. This is really exciting because there hasn't been a new edition of her Mass done for decades, and it's a piece that I know really well and have done with a lot of different groups. I particularly like her setting of the Lord's Prayer in its original 1967 version with the choir, but she also did this with soloists many times, with just a line at the end where a choir would come in on the background. So I'm going to sing this, obviously, as a solo piece. In her Mass, in the Mary Lou's Mass, she does this in E flat minor. I am transposing this down to C minor. So here is Mary Lou's setting of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive So there is Mary Lou Williams' setting of the Lord's Prayer. You can check out the sheet music for that if you're interested in licensing that music at the Mary Lou Williams Foundation website, and the link is below. I also want to remind you, you see I'm still here playing on a digital piano. I'm now going on 13 months without an acoustic piano, and I have exactly 4 weeks left to raise another $12,000 to be able to purchase a Steinway B piano that I've selected that's recently been rebuilt. The full cost is $30,000, and I've raised about $18,000 so far with your help. I need your help to make it the rest of the way, and I am really, really overwhelmingly looking forward to having this great acoustic piano in my space so that I sit down and start playing again. Because to be perfectly honest, a digital piano is okay sometimes for practicing, but it doesn't give me any emotion back. So I found myself over the last year just not composing as much, not playing as much because I don't have an instrument. So if you're able to contribute any amount, $5 is appreciated, up to whatever amount you can contribute. That is really appreciated. The link is gofundme.com/Deanna's-piano-fund. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So I'll be back next week, going back to some of my own original sacred jazz for next week's edition of Off the Page. So I look forward to seeing you then.